What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and a big hello to some of my favorite people on the planet who are in the Zoom room. I see a lot of beloved, familiar faces. Thank you all for being here. Or some names for those of you who don't have your cameras on. We're going to have an interesting show tonight. We are going to see some clips that our beloved brother Omashar has sent from Japan. Of course, we're getting very close to, this is International Peace Week. And of course, Saturday is International Peace Day. Please do let us know where you are geographically. Sue coming to us from New York, Lynn and Leif, as always, from Justine. I hope it's cooling off down there. I know it's been mighty hot this summer. Anyway, we're going to watch some videos of our beloved friends in Japan. And then I'm going to actually replay the Founding Mothers Movement video from last week because we had a little streaming problems. We want to get that out to as many people as possible. But let's start off, instead of a Omashar song, we're going to maybe see what's going on with Kristen Hoffman. So here we go. Here's our beloved Kristen. In Japan, of course. Actually, he's getting ready.
Flying free, back to the ocean boys, the ocean boys.
We're getting ready for 1,000+ people coming. You see Dana Tomatino there in the backyard. And that's the field where this gigantic event is going to happen, featuring Kristen Hoffman and Omashar playing music.
Hello, Global Peace Tribe.
Hello, Global Peace Tribe.
Hello, Global Priest.
Global Peace Tribe.
Hello, Global Priest Tribe.
This is Windahi and brother.
Uncle Shane, Charles, Australia, First Nations, First Peoples. Blessed to be here to bring my spirit from my country and share and take the spirit from here home and spread that through the world.
This is for an online show called The Awakening World, hosted by Scott Katamas.
Scott Katamas.
Right?
Yeah.
You've been there.
Yes, I
We know you. I know. This Wednesday.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
So this is the everybody. This is the pre-sound check for tomorrow's concert, and we just had an amazing ceremony with these guys just around the corner. And yeah. So anyway,
Yes.
see you.
See you.
So whilst we're here, this is for the Global Peace Tribe, and we have Doc Maver here and beloved Joan Bowler, and we're setting up for tomorrow's concert. And I just took the opportunity to come and check people out and have a chat. If you want to say hello.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Omashar. Yes, hello, brothers and sisters. It's such a delight that we are all together uniting for peace.
Yeah, exactly. And Joan just said ditto.
Omashar, it's such a pleasure to be here
Oh.
and to be having this experience together, and through your medium of on phone and television and Zoom, hopefully the message of
May peace
may
prevail.
peace
Yeah,
on
on
earth,
earth.
because we feel it here.
We feel it here. Yeah.
You know, the one other thing I'd like to say is, as we sat this morning and were welcomed by the Sianji family, Mrs. Sianji reminded us that we are answering a call, and we are all answering a call. Those of us here are representing so many more in our global peace tribe around the world. So that call, and this day after the full moon over Mount Fuji, so gorgeous, as we distribute these energies, join us as Omashar is playing and Kristen and others, and let us really distribute and anchor the spirit of peace at this moment in time. May
Oh.
peace prevail on earth.
And I
Yes.
think, to add to what Don is saying, Mrs.
Sianji.
Sanji just was so passionate, so excited, so childlike and beautiful in delivering. And she's been in that role for 38 years or so.
And you're just going to say who she is?
And Mrs. Sanji.
She's the Goy Foundation
Oh, yes.
leader.
Leader, yeah, she
Took
took
it over
over
from her father.
from her father, yeah.
Yeah, and she totally rocks. What a powerhouse. Heart-centered, divinely aligned.
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed, who told us she could really see us, and we believe it.
I know, see through all our past lives. Anyway, it's a sayonara for now. And ciao, may
Thank you,
peace.
Omashar.
Yeah, may peace
May
prevail
on earth.
So there it is. Our first video that Omashar has sent us from Japan. We've got 4 others, but something even more wonderful is we've got Omashar with us live, all the way from Japan. Here he is, our beloved brother Omashar. Hey, pal.
Hey, namaste, brother Scott and lovely Global Peace Tribe family. And do you see what's in the behind me?
It looks like the most beautiful green field ever.
Well, there's actually Mount Fuji with cloud tops on it, and it's one of the highest mountains in Japan. And we are just about an hour away from the setup of the show. And I need to press this. Okay,
Wow.
this is I think it's showing.
So that's not a backdrop. Is that a photograph, or is that?
No,
that's
it's the real deal, man. And I'm
so still. I thought it was a photograph.
no, I
So
must be
still.
Yeah, it's the real dude. And so behind me is the whole setting. I can't really see very well because it's the sun shining on my screen. So I'll just do my best to fake it until I make it. And but this is an amazing, amazing place where peace prayers have been prayed for the last 70 years. Like hundreds of thousands of people every year come here. And there's a peace flag for every country in the world. Well, there's 194 peace flags, plus a few regions like Tibet and other places that have been kind of put on the naughty boy list by whomever shouldn't have put them on there. And actually, we could probably right now, if we have a moment, go to Kwejo.
Kwajo, we love Kwajo.
It's actually Kwejo. We found out
Kwajo. Okay, all right.
was Kwejo, not Kwajo. And so actually we have Mindahi, Kwejo, and the famous rock star Ben Bowler right with us.
Hey,
Hey, brother, how you doing? It's good.
Right here,
Scott.
Scott Katamas.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're live on the Awakening World show now, all the way from, I don't know, some other universe. And we're so grateful to be able to intertwine this with our Global Peace Tribe family, because, you know, we really are all one and we're all in this together. And even if you're not here, you are here. You really are here. And so, yay.
Yes.
wow, it's great to see you guys. You guys are kind of popping in and out like
I know. Oh, I see. I don't know why that is.
I think the reception, yeah?
Yeah, it's just probably the reception. Yeah. So we'll deal with it for now and I'll get closer. Maybe I'll call back in a little bit. And
well,
we'll
it's
get
great
closer.
to see you. And is that Juan Carlos along with Kwajo?
No,
That's Mindahi.
it's Mindahi.
Oh, it's Mindahi.
I haven't changed.
man.
I haven't changed my name.
Mindahi, it's good to see you.
But he does
Good to
play
see you.
he does play a mean guitar, so we're cool. All right, we'll see you in a bit, Scott.
Good to see you, Scott.
All right, well, fantastic. And hello, Ben Bowler. Say hello to Ben for us.
Oh, did you see him?
Yeah, we saw Ben in the background
Good.
there.
Oh, he's here again.
Hey, Ben, you're on the live on the Awakening World right now.
Oh, we love you, Scott. We love you. We love the Awakening World. It's amazing having Omashar here, the Global Peace Tribe. This is it. We're all doing it together. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you to all the tribe. And thank
Ben,
you
share with us one special moment that you all have experienced so far over there.
Well, we had the Indigenous ceremony yesterday with Mindahi led and Jason and Uncle Shane and Pat McCabe and Pookie and so many incredible Indigenous leaders standing there. And it was extraordinary. It was one of those moments where you just feel privileged to be alive in the mountain, going in and out behind the clouds, and the incredible bird life which responded to the ceremony and prayed with us. It was something I think we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. Indelible. Yay.
And
Okay.
I'm going to play that native ceremony video that you sent me on Omashar next. So
Yeah, I did until she
use
said
that to
camera
the
off.
audience? Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Yay. Well, cool, man. I don't know if the reception is going to get any better down here, but it is not a fake background, so it's not because of that. This is the real thing, man. And as you can see, I'm using dude and man a lot, so I'm excited. And what, just before we go, there's a beautiful woman here. I forget what her name is, but
Omaha! It's Kristen. Hey, beloved friend.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. Hello.
Well, you're live on the Awakening World right now. Your whole audience that loves you is watching you.
Here we are. I was just gifted this beautiful gift of the divine spark. They call it the divine spark ing.
Oh. Are you
Beautiful. Sending all of my love. We are like living a prophecy here. We are living this family birthing, and so much mystery is happening, and we don't even know what's going to happen, but we know it's great. And it's even better now that we're connected here.
Exactly that. There's only one of us here, and we have another one of us just popped up.
Who is it?
Who could it be? So ta-ta for now, and here comes. I don't know, but anyway. The big reveal is going to happen. Okay.
the big reveal? Okay, we're ready. Who's up next? It's Summer Joy. Yay!
so good to hear your voice.
Your Global Peace Tribe family is watching you live on the Awakening World right now.
Wow, that's so wonderful. Hello, hello. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa to all of you, and arigato. Arigato. So much love from Mount Fuji. And the spirit of her, the guardian of her, also goes by Senjen. I'm just sending you the guardian goddess medicine of Mount Fuji from my heart to all of you. May peace
Ohio
prevail.
gozaimasu, and radiant blessings to all of you and to Senjen and the Peace Crane.
Perfect.
And it's good because yesterday
Sylvia has created a box of origami that we're going to bring to Peace Day in San Francisco. So
perfect.
All right, we're going to say ta-ta for now, sayonara, and lovely to hear your voice, Sylvia. Thanks for the Peace Cranes going to San Francisco. And yeah,
and we have hundreds of peace cranes here that we're taking to Hiroshima, just so you know, Sylvia. I folded over 100 before coming over here, and those, along with many others, will be coming to Hiroshima on the International Day of Peace. And it's so good to be with Omashar. It's so good to be here with Brother Omashar. And all of his light and the awakening world is within him, and he's bringing it right here to the land. Yes.
Okay, spot you later, guys.
Love you much. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. Let's go.
Bye.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Live in Japan. Isn't that cool? What a truly global family we are, that we can be connecting with Omashar, Summer Joy, Kristen Hoffman, Ben Bowler, live while they're in Japan, and each of us is wherever we are. Most of us in our living room or in our office. So that was pretty exciting. That was spontaneous. We were hoping that would work out. So I'm gonna pop on. You heard Ben say what he was most excited about was this native ceremony, and here's just a little snippet of a video that Omashar made from this indigenous ceremony that happened yesterday in Japan. So that just gives you a little bit of a taste of that. Now, this next video is really, really fun. This is an improvisational song of our Unity Earth friends, and you're going to recognize several of our friends on the bus as they're driving. So take a look at this one. There's Rev Deb Moldau, Pato and Antoinette are right in the foreground. Dr. Marty Casey is back there. Kristen Hoffman is there. Ray Joe, who just got live.
We love peace. Peace to America. Peace to Northern Africa. Peace to South America. Peace. Peace to Russia. Peace to Asia. Peace. We love peace. So sing along. Peace to America. Peace to Mother Africa. Africa, peace in South America, peace.
We love
Peace to Russia, peace to Asia, peace to Australia, peace. Peace to Syria, peace to Ethiopia, peace to Canada, peace. Peace to the ethers, peace to the oceans, the vegetation. I wanna see light and life. Love operating on the planet which are heading to the wall.
Salamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. Salamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. Salamu alaikum, alaikum assalam.
All right. I wanna see light and life. Love operating on the planet which are ending to the wall. The people of the north, south, east and west, north becomes south, becomes west, no separation. I wanna see that little kid go to school happily, never caring where the bullet is gonna flow from. I wanna see the destruction of the world peace, mad destruction of people what the
Salamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Shalom alaikum, alaikum assalam. Salamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. Shalom alaikum, alaikum assalam.
realistically, I wanna see love operating on the planet which are ending to the wall faster.
I'm going to pause it because you guys get the idea. And I want to kind of touch in. How is this for everybody? It's a little bit of a different kind of a show tonight. Eleanor Joy and Ian are twinkling, even though we're not quite playing the kind of music you dig up and dance. But I will read some of the comments coming in. George writes, very cool. What's the time difference there? Yeah, no, what? So the videos I'm playing are recorded. But what we had a few minutes ago with Omashar and Christian, that was live. That was happening right now. They're getting ready for their big event. I think, so it would be tomorrow morning there right now. It was 10 o'clock in the morning at our 6 p.m. So whatever that would be, that's 16 hours. Yeah, there's 16 hours ahead. So when we started our show at 6 p.m., it was 10 o'clock in the morning. And they're getting ready for this big event that's going to happen there. Susan writes, it feels like we're traveling on an adventure. Eleanor Joy writes, fantastic. We're loving the show. Okay, good. Grace Denise writes, great energy. Eleanor Joy put in little dancing icons. Oh, good. And Kathy says it's fun to see all of them. Such an amazing place to be. That background was amazing, wasn't it? It looked like a photo. So I'm glad I wasn't the only person who was confused by that. And yeah, I wish I was there. I'm having a little bit of FOMO, but I'm happy to be with all of you watching it together. And I am going to play a couple more videos. Also there, of course, are our friends Pato and Antoinette. And let's see what they were up to. You know, they're all about the spirit of Ubuntu. We've done a couple shows with them on that. They made a documentary about it. Let's see what's going on with Pato and Antoinette in Japan.
You see, it's like the child was going.
Not seeing the video, Scott, just hearing it.
Scott, did somebody say something?
Yes, but we weren't seeing the video,
You weren't seeing the video at all?
just hearing bits of it.
Oh my gosh, that's so strange. Do you see it now? Do you all see the video now?
Yes, I do.
I am so sorry. I don't know why that was.
One more time. Hey, the spirit of Ubuntu. Thank you, everybody. So this was the 1 hour version.
You can turn on the lights now.
Yeah, you can turn up the light. Yeah. So we made it shorter for the convergence for this journey. But when it will be released in January, and you'll be able to see the full 90-minute version.
Yay!
But I want to ask Lucy, please, to step forward one more time. We do have an award for Lucy, but we didn't bring it with us, but we're going to get it to you. But come here a second, my brother. Come here. I want to ask everybody to please give Lucy a big round of applause. One more time for his amazing contribution to the spirit of Ubuntu Declaration. Do you want to say anything to everybody about your experience or your feelings watching the movie?
I'm so moved. We have a proverb in Africa. If we want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others, together. Ubuntu is all about. Thank you so much, Brother Antoinette and Brother Pacho and Sister Angela. Emotionally, thank you so much, my dear sister.
あとアメリカには言い伝えがあって、早く行きたければ一人で、みんな遠くに行きたければみんなで行きましょうっていう、それを思い出されました。
All I want to say is, as people who are living in the 21st century, it's very easy for us to live in peace and harmony for this generation and generation yet to come.
21世紀に生きている私たちにとって、また次の世代にとっては本当に平和を生きるということはより簡単になっているはずです。
It's not too much to ask for us to live in peace and harmony.
私たち自身が平和に生きるということはそんなに多くのことを願ってお願いしているわけではありません。
It's not too much to see the manifestation of Ubuntu, the golden rule, to prevail on earth.
ウブンというその黄金律、黄金の法則を生きることはそんなに難しいはずじゃありません。
The mind that creates all this marvelous technology, the mind that creates all this significant, amazing technology, why it is so difficult to live in peace and harmony with each other. Very simple thing. So that's why in my remark I mentioned the preamble of UNESCO. If war begins in the minds of the people, and the solution should be from here. And the wish and the prayer of may peace prevail on earth, I've been chanting that for the last 25, 30 years. It's not a mere wish. If we all put our mind and heart and action together in alignment, it will happen.
So you get a little bit of a taste. I hope you're able to hear what they were saying well enough. Yeah, it's really fun, isn't it? I have one more video that I want to play. I haven't had a chance to see this one, but it's from our beloved Kristen Hoffman, and I think it's a message for us, the Global Peace Tribe. So let's hear what Kristen has to say. Well, now for some reason that one's not playing so well. Let's try it again. Uh-oh, there we go. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Omashar literally had just sent me these videos about a half an hour before we went on, so I haven't even had a chance to preview this one.
No, I'll get you. Hey.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Is that Scott? I think I see you, Scott. You are here with us at Fuji, in our hearts, in our spirit. You're here in our emotional connections and in our love. And we miss you so much. But we don't miss you too much because you're here. And we're just sending you a dose of Mount Fuji magic, mysticism, love, spirit, and just know that our arms are wrapped around you and we're thinking about you.
And we just transliterated FOMO into...
Oh yeah, now we're calling it Phobie.
No,
oh no,
Joby.
Joby. The joy of being included. So we're sending you a message encoded with Joby, and may you just soak it all in, feel the Joby, the joy of being included, and just know how much you're loved.
Yes,
okay?
And may peace
and may peace
prevail on earth
from the heart of Fuji Sanctuary.
Isn't she just the sweetest? Isn't she just the sweetest? Well, how is that for people? Love to hear from some of you. Also, I'd love to get some feedback because a lot of our key core people are here. We're wanting to do our next retreat in Sedona, and we had been thinking of Veterans Day weekend, November 7th through the 11th. But for a few reasons, it might be better to do it 2 weeks later. It would be just before Thanksgiving, the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I'm wondering, I'm not asking for any commitments. I'm going to keep it as inexpensive as possible. We'll be staying at Larissa Stroh's beautiful retreat center just outside Sedona. But pop in the chat box how likely it is that you think you'll be able to come, and whether November 7th through 11th is better for you, or if it would work out to be November 21 to 24 is just as good. So pop that in the chat box. That would be helpful to know. And we'll definitely make it really, really fun. We'll have some special. How does one travel to Sedona? Well, there's many ways. The closest big airport is Phoenix, which is only 2 hours away. And there are regular shuttles that run straight from Phoenix Airport to Sedona. Or, we can come down and pick people up. So if you don't want to drive, depending on where you are, you can fly into Phoenix. And Phoenix is a huge airport, absolutely huge. So thank you, Susan, for asking. And yeah, wondering, Eleanor, Joy, and Ian, Jerry Anderson, Pat, Lynn, Leaf, Don, Dia Therese, what's the likelihood, George, that you guys might be able to come to a very special Global Peace Tribe retreat? Let me know. George is a maybe. Dia prefers the later date. Okay, that's good to know. And I tell you what you can do. You can all think about it and pop it in the chat box. I'm not going to go to the second part of tonight's show, and I'm actually going to play it from off a different computer. And this is the Founding Mothers video from last week. And we're going to replay not all of it, but most of it, because it didn't make it out because we had a snafu last week. So, but there's great Omashar music and some very, very powerful videos and testimonials. So here we go. I'm going to reclaim the host here and play the video. Get it ready. Oh, I had it all queued up. Here we go. Oh, it's going to take a moment for it to do its thing. All right, so I'm going to come back to myself here. And actually, I'm going to have to play one more Omashar video that he sent because it's taking a moment for that to open. So here is a video that I also didn't get a chance to preview, but it's called Omashar's First Day in Japan. So let's check that out. Let's go back to Japan and back to Omashar.
All right, beloveds, this is your roving reporter, Omashar, for the Global Peace Tribe, and I'm in the heart of Tokyo City, and I'm on an adventure. I've just ventured out. I'm a little jet lagged, but I'm proud of that because it means that I can't think anymore. And I'm just walking in this high humidity. We're about 80% humidity, and it's really hot. It's about 93 degrees, and I am just on the way to a shrine, my first adventure of the day. And you'll be happy to know that there are so many Starbucks everywhere. Holy smoke, how did that franchise get so popular? Most people here drink green tea. So anyway, see you in a minute. See you at the shrine. Well, actually, not namaste. I forget what it is. But anyway, konnichiwa. Already, this is a city of modern and ancient, all built on top of each other. I just came across this Mayan-looking construction, and it's actually a gate for the Akasaka city, some feudal lord thing that was built in 1636. That's just so last century ago. And but it's, you know, it's got skyscrapers and a major road by it. But anyway, you can imagine people all here dressed like, I don't know, Fu Manchu. Maybe that's Chinese. Anyway, whatever. If I don't shut up, I'll show you my complete ignorance. See you at the shrine. So, yes. Bye again.
I love how he got to Japan confused with China.
My little family of light workers. Here is the beginning of the shrine. It's kind of massive.
Hold on, I didn't realize there's more. So hang on a second. Here we go.
Well, it used to be massive until the building next to it got even more massive. And yes, this is all that happened. This was rural land just a few decades ago, and now it is what it is. So we are going to enter the shrine, and I shall walk up there for a little while. As you can see, we have John, Paul, George and Ringo are walking across this little Abbey Road thingy, and across there, as you can say, it says in perfect Japanese, "Welcome Omashar of the Global Peace Tribe." How about that? They knew I was coming. Okay, here we are again, and we have the 25,000 steps up to the shrine, so I'm going to count them all for you. All right, 24,999, and action. Konnichiwa. This is the temple name, Inari Sando. As you can see, I can read. It says there, Inari Sando. Don't know what that says, but hey, what do you do? And I had my first actual encounter, wow, this is like way cool, with a local. He looked at me, I nodded, and he said, "Ha! Konnichiwa!" My goodness, at least I know that one. So this is pretty cool, actually. It suddenly got cooler because we have lots of trees overhanging, and we have local customs here. It's lots of no's, no sitting, no eating or drinking, no smoking, no pets. But if you want a good massage, then see the monk at the top. So I'm going to turn the camera off now, just out of respect for these people.
good. He's really, really good at doing these travelogues. We had Omashar in Glastonbury, now Omashar in Japan. I think there's a series here. And yes, I agree with you, Susan. He is very, very funny. Oh no, Jerry has two monks coming to your place in Pennsylvania. Well, bring them. Bring the monks. Are they going to be there all of November? Would the earlier November be better or the later November, Jerry? Let me know, because definitely we want you to be there for sure. All right, we are going to now go to a significant portion of last week's show, which was powerful, all about the Founding Mothers movement. So here we go.
We're not hearing it now.
And let's try now. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Hold on. Being very ornery. So we're going to do something different. We are going to start off with really the theme of tonight's show. Let's take a look here. To put the women in charge. We men have not done a very good job over the last few thousand years. And one of my favorite women who takes charge of many things, the co-founder of the Global Peace Tribe, Deborah Giusti, my co-host, to tell us all about this very special show tonight. Take it away, Deborah.
Thank you so much, Scott. And hello, everyone. It's so good to be back here on Awakening World with such an important, timely, and positive program. And I do appreciate all the programs you've been doing, Scott, since we stopped Saturday Night Alive and created Awakening World. They're all wonderful. But I love to come to shows and support the topics, people, and organizations that I really feel personally are making a difference in the world. And that's really true for this show, as we'll get to find out about the founding mothers and why I say there's huge hope for what's going on in the world. And I love that song, Put the Woman in Charge, sung by Keb Mo, who's a dynamic Black man musician. Not only does it show that there are evolutionary men who understand the values of women's leadership and feminine principles. And the values that I'm talking about, for example, are caring for everyone, no matter what the caste, color, or economic reality, care for our environment, collaboration instead of competition, cooperation instead of conquering, living in peace, and the bottom line, operating in the frequency of love. And many of us have discussed the value of the feminine principles and the divine feminine for a long time now. We've realized that there's currently an imbalance and has been for a long time as we identify as leadership as the patriarchy. And we also know the elephant in the room now, which is the world has gone pretty crazy these days. We experience ongoing new levels of dysfunction every day. It's like watching a reality TV show, but we are watching our world. And that's not to say that this dysfunction hasn't always been there for many years, and in some cases, hundreds of years. But because of these evolutionary times we are in right now, what's been hidden is coming up to the surface to be revealed. It's a purification cycle. So the elephant that I'm talking about is the craziness in politics, and I'm not even going there. How large corporations have a stronghold on our government and leaders, how society treats our environment, the imbalance and instability in our economy, how people are so ill these days because of the toxins, pollutions, and stress, the dysfunction in our medical system with the overuse of prescription drugs, the imbalance in society where so few have so much and others are struggling, and now the advancement of World War III, and how women are still mistreated in the world and do not have the opportunity to lead in the world in ways that we all know are possible and potentially assist in solving the issues I just mentioned. So I believe that women in charge will not lead us into a world that's unbalanced, so that we have 22 wars on the planet now. And there's actually been long cycles in our past history where women rulers have achieved peace, abundance, and harmony. And this is well documented in history from the island of Crete in Egypt, so we know it's possible. And things are changing, and that's why I say there's hope. One thing that's different is the way our technology has evolved to allow communication in the world to be instant. So now people all over the world instantly not only see the dysfunction, but we experience it, we feel it, and we therefore live it. And that's why millions of us are waking up now to this deep awareness of the dysfunction and wanting to have a change. And what's also evolved is how we can communicate each other and experience each other, just like on this show. And we can create a force of change, of evolution, working with like-minded community. So people are waking up and speaking out now big time. And also what's next for us is to unite and support the values that we hold together to manifest in our world. And not just individually to unite, but major organizations and the world to unite, so we can really influence positive change. So that is what's happening now. As so much is falling apart and collapsing, new opportunities and solutions are rising. And that's why I say them hope. And that's why I'm supporting the Founding Mothers, which is the mother of all movements, which has the goals and plans to address much of what I spoke about. It's a woman-led movement with goals of achieving gender equality and supporting the evolution of governance beyond hierarchy, dominion, militarism, towards collaboration, cooperation, and most of all, peace. The goal is to eliminate discrimination and oppression of women all over the world and support women blossoming forward into leadership that instills true values of democracy, nonviolence, unity and diversity, and so much more. It also invites the leadership and participation and contribution of the men, because we all should work together. And these are the principles of building the new earth together. And what's so amazing to me in the Founding Mothers movement is that it officially started in July 2024, but it's grown like wildfire, and hundreds of women and men all over the world have joined. I first heard about it in July, and it was an instant yes. And I think it's growing so fast because it is an instant yes for so many people. We've been talking about this for so long. Really, the time is now. We are in process of building the new earth together now. It's time to have equal rights for all levels of women and empower them in the feminine and principles fully. But what really got me about this organization and the Founding Mothers, it's not just about sitting around and talking about it. As we've shared, we've talked about this forever. This group is about action. They are fully aware of what it takes to affect change in the world in a grounded, concrete way with strategic planning. And they have big plans that they are implementing now. And they are uniting people and organizations all around the world to join them. But what's most important, just like I acknowledged in the beginning, their action is through the frequency of love. So tonight, you're going to meet a few of the very powerful women on the core team of this movement. You're going to hear their stories. You're going to be inspired by their goals. And most of all, you're going to feel their hearts. But before we bring them on, I want to honor this day, because we consciously chose this day, 9/11, which was a tragic day that brought our country to its knees. We want to honor the tragedy and the pain that so many people went through, but also acknowledge that even though this world feels really unstable right now, just like the times of 9/11, with movements like the Founding Mothers, we do have a lot of hope. So now I'm happy to welcome the founder and visionary of the Founders Mothers movement, Reverend Laura George. She has a lifetime of very productive evolutionary work serving community. She's the executive director of the Oracle Institute, which is an educational charity and think tank that studies the nexus between religions, politics, human rights, and conscious evolution. And she also serves as a minister of the Oracle Temple, which is headquartered at the Peace Pentagon. But she is one of the one, and really these inspirations come through us all, that had a core seed, divine inspiration, and immense passion to spearhead the Founding Mothers group, to unite women's group, manifest gender equality, and end war. So aren't we fortunate she was born on this world? Welcome, Reverend Laura George.
Oh, Deborah, you are beyond kind, and we are just so happy to be here. The genesis of this is really started last year in an evolutionary leaders collaboratory. But I dare say, who amongst us hasn't gotten this exact same download? And it is significant that we chose 9/11 for this broadcast. For me personally, it's significant because that was my wake-up call. That's when I stopped being an attorney and started the Oracle Institute. So many signs, so many signals, so much synchronicity. And we are just going to have a beautiful show tonight. And I just want to thank you and Scott again for giving us this full show, because we're going to fill it. We've got a lot to say. And yes, we think the Founding Mothers movement is the answer to everyone's prayers. So we're going to start this show with grandmother Ejna Fleury, who I am just so pleased to now call my sister. I didn't know Ejna a year ago, and boy, have we bonded. We're actually going to New York together next week to the Summit of the Future, and we're going to be speaking together at one of the Evolutionary Leaders Side events. So let me introduce Ejna, because she's going to speak first. She is a spiritual activist, counselor, healer, and global visionary. She serves as the first peace ambassador of the Crow Creek Sioux tribe of South Dakota. And she is the founder of Divine Mother's Love, Sacred Earth Council, and Healing Hearts at Wounded Knee. She's a member of the Council of Eagle, Condor, Quetzal, and Colibri, and an international coordinator of the Four Worlds Holistic Health Program. And in addition to all of that, Ejna serves in the Peace Room of the Founding Mothers movement. And the Peace Room is so named in honor of our dear beloved and departed, but still available, Barbara Marx Hubbard, who said that we need a peace room as sophisticated as a war room. So Ejna, I hand it over to you for a blessing and for the introduction to Founding Mothers movement.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for being here, everyone. I'm going to start with an opening prayer for us, because we know that when we gather together, the prayers are even more powerful. So let's close our eyes, take a deep breath in together of the magic of life and love, and exhale out love. Beloved, deep mystery creator, source of all galaxies, source of our beloved sun, source of the very life we live, source of the love that we know in our hearts. We invite and invoke your presence honor your presence, for you have been guiding our lives here. These people, all of us gathered here, we are so blessed to know that we are of you, with you, and that you are with us. And we especially and most humbly request your continued guidance, blessings, inspirations to add to our missions, that we know that it is time here now for a great evolutionary leap in our human family, and for us all to be united together. And we invite and invoke the weaving, the beautiful magical synchronicity that is happening in our lives, so that we may be brought together in just the perfect way, the perfect timing, and that the impossible, which has seemed impossible, is absolutely possible with the quantum love, the quantum compassion, and the quantum inspiration that is pouring forth. With every breath we take, we thank you. With every heartbeat, we thank you. And so it is. Aho, Ashe, Omatakwiyase. And I'd like to make some opening remarks in honor of what we're doing here. My heart has been moved very deeply all day today, because I knew we were coming this evening to share with you all. And this special time that we're in, all of us who are gathered here, we are truly blessed, because we have been serving. We've been touching lives, and we need now to touch every life. And we have this capacity, technologically, we have the capacity to touch every life with love. And the love of the mother, every person walking and living and breathing has come through mother. And even with those who are in vitro fertilization, they've been placed into the wombs of mothers. And this magical, divine, infinite love, we ask to grow and to guide us as we move forward in what we're doing. And I want to share with you why I joined this movement, because this movement is coming from the quantum field. This is not arising only just from our ego. This is arising with the magic of spirit and inspiration. And when I was 40, for my 40th birthday, I ended up getting a pipe, and I didn't even know that there was the sacred pipe. But I ended up going to green grass under very beautiful synchronous circumstances, and I was given a pipe from the White Buffalo Calf Woman lineage. It was a very small, precious pipe. And the dream, one of the dreams, I had several dreams that came, and one of the dreams was I was lifted up. This was a vision. It was a vision I was given. I was lifted up off the table, and I was flown east, and I was flown to a place where rolling hills, and there was a little stream there, and I could feel my children. I was the earth lying there, and I could feel the sun, and the love. I could feel the love that I have with the sun, and the radiance of the warmth, and the winds caressing the grasses of my plains. And I could feel my children. They're this group over here, and they're full of consternation and worry and fear. And here's another group over here. Oh my, they're marching, but they're fearful. They're fearful also. And I realize that this is the battle of the wounded knee. This is the battle of the little bighorn, the Custer battle. And I'm lying there, and I'm loving. I could feel the love for all of the children, my creation. and they're going to be going into battle. I could feel this infinite love. And so I learned there of the infinite, endless, eternal, limitless love that the earth has for us. And all of a sudden I was taken inside of the body of this young man, bivouacked. He'd made a little spot for himself, and he knew he was going to die that day. And love came forward, the love of his wife and his child, and that gave him courage. So this love that pervades everywhere, is what is guiding this movement, and we are going to be following the inspiration that is coming. So that is why I've joined this movement, because it's coming not just from the ego. This is coming from the love of the cosmos. So thank you. And Scott, if you would like to play this wonderful video we have lined up for you.
Women and men around the world are celebrating the birth of the Founding Mothers movement to secure universal rights for all women and to end war. Simply put, we've had enough of patriarchy and privilege. We will no longer tolerate family violence, sexual assault, child marriage, girls who can't go to school or let their hair down, men depriving us of reproductive freedom, or sacrilege against Mother Earth. The military-industrial complex trains men to kill on command. They're also weaponizing AI. Soldiers rape women as a staple of war, and surviving women and children are left homeless. The founding fathers of every nation have brought us to where we are. Now, the founding mothers are joining together to lead us into an era of partnership and peace, a future that works for everyone. We're a global coalition, uniting women's groups, peace organizations, spiritual communities, and environmental groups. We're taking action to shed archaic belief systems, transform barbaric behaviors, eradicate misogyny and racism, and protect democracy. Instead of a war room, we're building a peace room. And we're spreading truth, love, and light. We serve as diplomats and peace negotiators, business leaders, elected officials, caregivers, and wisdom keepers. And we've got a concrete plan to grow this into the mother of all movements. First, we wish to honor the Mother's Day proclamation written by Julia Ward Howe. Mother's Day was not created for gift cards and chocolates. It was a call to action for an international Congress of Women to pursue the great and general interest of peace. Second, we're reimagining the Women's Congress. It will network thousands of women's groups around the world. Third, in addition to unifying our sisters around the world, we're inviting our brothers to join us. Stakeholders who lead peace, spiritual, and environmental groups. Just imagine our united strength when we, the people, organize. We'll move mountains if we focus on two specific goals: partnership and peace. Please join the Founding Mothers movement today. If you lead a women's organization, register for our online Women's Congress and help compose the Founding Mothers Manifesto. If you lead a peace, spiritual, or environmental group, enroll your organization in the coalition and help transition humanity from patriarchy to partnership. And if you're an individual who understands that our future is at stake, sign up for our mailing list, donate, volunteer your skill set, and be ready for a series of escalating campaigns starting on January the 1st, 2025. Join the Founding Mothers movement and help transform the world.
That was beautiful, as always, and thank you very much. And now I want to let you know that I found out about the Founding Mothers movement from my dear friend Anadea Judith, who shared, I'm involved in another project again. She's someone like me that has supported the evolution of consciousness in our community for many years. And she told me the Founding Mothers is really amazing and could change the world. And of course, I've heard that before. But now I'm saying the same thing. So I'm so happy to invite Anadea here. She is a globally recognized spiritual teacher. She's the author of many best-selling books on psychology, spirituality, yoga, social change, and women's leadership. And she's the founder and teacher of the organization Sacred Centers Academy and She Rises movement. And she's a public speaker who has been called the prophet of our time. So we're really fortunate that the bug bit her for the Founding Mothers movement, because she is a force of nature. And to put her energy behind this and her heart and soul, we are truly blessed. Welcome, Anadea.
Oh, thank you, Deborah. It's so great to be with you and Scott and all the people and my sisters and the Founding Mothers. And yeah, Deborah, you and I go back decades now doing this work together. And, you know, you say, it was a wonderful introduction, but I've been the one that's been privileged to be part of the Founding Mothers since its conception a little over 9 months ago. And that came out of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, of which Deborah's part of it, and Scott is part of it, and Laura's part of it, and I think some others here have been nominated to it. And in that, because it's a large group, there are synergy circles of people that are gathered around a particular topic. There's one for UN Sustainable Goals, and there's one for extraterrestrials, and there's one for different kinds of consciousness. So there's several synergy groups. And I believe it was Laura who proposed a feminine force collaboratory as a synergy group. And I had just published the book Goddess, Blessed Reunions with a Feminine Face of the Divine. And I was on this show about that a few months ago. And so I was invited to join this group, and it was an immediate, oh, yes, of course. This is the synergy group I want to put my teeth into. And so we began, and right away we said, as Deborah mentioned earlier, we don't want to sit around and talk. We want to do something. And so by the second meeting, we were all submitting proposals for projects that we wanted to do around a feminine force collaboratory. And Ryan Eisler was there, and she put out a proposal of her passion, which is about addressing domestic violence, feeling that everything starts in the home. And if we don't address that, that just teaches people the dominator paradigm all the way down. And I had proposed a couple things. One was the writing of a Matriot Act that would be very much like the Founding Mothers Proclamation that has now been written, and also a truth and reconciliation process with the Abrahamic or patriarchal religions that see only a male God, to what has been done to the goddess religion, that at one time did rule peacefully, did honor men and women equally, did honor the earth, and was brutally suppressed and wiped out all the way down to, you know, the witch burnings and the Inquisition, until the word goddess, you know, when I was growing up and I was a little girl, you know, I said to my mother, we'd go to church and I'd say, Mommy, why is God always a he? And she says, oh, well, honey, that refers to everybody. And why did he give his only begotten son? Didn't he have a daughter? Well, that's just the way it is, you know. And why is it to save mankind? What about me? You know, and she would just kind of brush it off. But these are real questions that were so, the culture had so assumed, we had so lost the goddess by then that it was just an assumption. It wasn't questioned. And for me, when I got into 9th grade and read Edith Hamilton's mythology and suddenly discovered that once upon a time there were gods and goddesses, and there were sacred rites that honored the earth and the cycles of the season and the stages of life, my mind was blown open that, oh my goodness, the story I have been told about the patriarchal God is not the only story there is. And at that time in 9th grade, that set me on a path to find and worship and reimagine and reenact the goddess and revive that religion. So I've been on that path so much of my life. And it's taken me through many different turns. But at this last turn, I had started something called the She Rises movement. I had published a set of archetype cards of women's leadership, and I put on a show that Deborah was part of it. She played the Empress so beautifully. And it was a live public performance. And then Stephen Dinan of the Shift Network said, you know, what you've got here really should be a movement. And so I started She Rises movement. And I hadn't gotten too far in that when I ran into Laura's presentation on our Feminine Force Collaboratory of her 25-page proposal for the Founding Mothers movement. And I went, wow, this has everything that I've been up to and more. And not only that, it has the way she had laid it out and conceived of it, it has the potential to really make a difference. And as I've been working with this over the last 9 months in the Peace Room, and I'm the Raven in the Peace Room, which represents the spirituality and religion sector, I've realized what it takes to start a movement. It's not an easy thing. It's a very complex process. I never could have done it on my own. I needed to be with these women in this sisterhood. And it's been a real pleasure to be part of it and to resurrect the feminine in a healthy way, not in the dominator model. So we're not talking about women dominating men or women taking over, but women's rights are human rights. We're talking about the tendency for women to create more peace than war and how badly we need that right now. And the injustices toward women all over the world, as you saw in that movie. And it's just been a complete honor to be part of this movement and give birth to it. And here we are, 9 months along. We launched on July 5th on a new moon, right after Independence Day. And we have resurrected the Women's Congress that was mentioned in that first video you saw, that started in 1870 and that actually gave women the right to vote just a little over 100 years ago. And now we're enacting it to take it to the next stage, which is partnership and peace, a partnership society where men and women rule equally and interact equally, and the contribution of women's values is equally honored to the contribution of men's values, and to create a world of peace, which we all know is what we want. We all know that war is absolutely insane and does not solve anything and causes untold trauma for generations. We know this in our hearts, but the Founding Mothers are taking a stand for it with a series of campaigns and a proclamation to state our values and our demands and our models. And I really think it has wings and feet and heart and mind and spirit, and is divinely guided by the feminine goddess that we all know and love and want back to walk in this world once again. So I think with that, we can show the next video of the structure of the Founding Mothers movement. And this was conceived of by Laura, and it shows how we're put together. And it's a very interesting structure that we have sometimes called matriarchy or femocracy, or just our governance structure. So let's play that next video.
This video describes the proposed governance structure of the Founding Mothers Women's Congress. First, female leaders from around the world are invited to participate. Second, you must be a leader of one of our partner groups: a women's or children's organization, peace or democracy group, spiritual or religious community, or an environmental or indigenous group. Third, your group must have 25 or more members for you to qualify as a congressional representative. When you register, you will be asked to designate one delegate from your group for the Women's Congress. Our governance system is a fusion of various consent models: holacracy, sociocracy, indigenous wisdom, and feminine circle principles. Here is a visual depiction of the Congress. There are 5 layers to the model. 4 concentric women's circles that are colored purple, blue, green, and pink, each with a different function, and an outer layer that includes our peace, spiritual, and environmental partners. It is here that men will affiliate and collaborate with the Women's Congress. Now let's do a deeper dive. The outer pink ring shows the female delegates in the Congress. Each pink circle consists of delegates from one of our partner groups around the world. In this illustration, we have 15 delegates in each circle who represent 15 different coalition members. There are 20 circles total, which equates to 300 partner groups in the Congress. But we anticipate thousands of women will eventually join. The dark pink dot is the matriarch who facilitates the circle. Each circle also will have a maven who assists and a scribe who records circle deliberations and decisions. Next, there are 10 green circles that represent global regions. Delegates will be coded based on their geographic area so they can help monitor campaigns around the world. The 10 regions are NA, which stands for North America, EU for Europe, ME for the Middle East, RU for Russia and Kazakhstan, CH for China, Mongolia, Korea, and Japan, AS for Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia, IN for India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh, AU for Australia, New Zealand, and the Arctic, AF for Africa, and SA for South America. Next, there are 5 operational circles shown in blue. The Manifesto Circle will be a group of female attorneys who will compose our list of demands for achieving gender equity and ending war. The Campaign Circle will brainstorm novel, nonviolent resistant actions until the demands in the manifesto are met. The Tech Circle will manage the Founding Mothers website, our communications platform, and data security. The Media Circle will coordinate our messaging, draft press releases, pump social media, and interface with media outlets. And our Partner Circle will collaborate with our coalition partners, men who lead peace, spiritual, and environmental groups. At the center in purple is the peace room, as sophisticated as a war room, to quote legendary futurist Barbara Marx Hubbard. The peace room is protected by the 5 alchemical elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. It will be overseen by 11 women who represent 11 archetypes. Our design is a unique merger of indigenous totems and the wheel of co-creation. The structure is intended to support feminine wisdom and ingenuity in each sector of society. The 11 archetypes include the wolf for learning and education, the whale for communications and media, the elephant for art and culture, the rhino for economics and business, the bee for peace building and relations, the snake for health and wellness, the turtle for food, water, and environment, the buffalo for infrastructure and resources, the spider for science and technology, the raven for spirituality and religion, and Lady Liberty for justice and governance, the heart and soul of the Peace Room Circle. The domain and duties of each circle will be clearly defined, and circles will link to other circles. The matriarch of each circle will serve as a representative to a circle above, while the maven will coordinate with a circle below. This architecture ensures the flow of information between circles, and it streamlines feedback. When time is of the essence, the Congress will be able to quickly assess situations and arrive at sound outcomes. We've also developed Roberta's Rules of Order, a consent-based model for stewarding discussions and making decisions. Using consent, the Women's Congress will approve action events for the Founding Mothers movement. Consent also will be used to select women for specific functions. Expertise will be prized and responsibilities clearly defined. Research shows that leaderless and leaderful movements cause chaos due to a lack of clear authority. Our system supports centralized agility and decentralized agency. The design also acknowledges the importance of both vertical and horizontal administration. It is very similar to the structure employed by Martin Luther King during the Civil Rights Movement. In sum, the Women's Congress is the wildcard scenario to transition humanity from patriarchy to partnership. We honor the International Women's Congress from the 20th century. Now, we've reimagined a global women's Congress for the 21st century, and we will achieve universal rights for all women. Lastly, one of our core values is unity and diversity. We welcome our progressive sisters to join us, women of all ages, all religions, and every cultural background. And we'll use virtual technology so that delegates can attend the Congress from anywhere in the world. Truly, there has never been a strategic movement of this magnitude. Sign up for the Founding Mothers Women's Congress today. Help build the mother of all movements and transform the world.
Thank you. I hand it back to Laura.
Hi, everyone. Where to begin? I think I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are standing on the shoulders of female giants. As the video showed, actually both of our videos, we're so aware of how far women have come and how far we have yet to go. So when I say that we're standing on the shoulders of giants, we so deeply honor the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave feminists. And many scholars now say we are embarking on the fifth wave of feminism, which the founding mothers are defining as gender equity. And that's why our opening music video put a woman in charge. There's many men too who are like, you know what? Let's let the women have a run at it at this point. We also honor the early suffragettes because what they did was amazing in terms of their organization before technology. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me still that from Julia Ward Howe's Mother's Day Proclamation, which was issued in 1870, that women met for the first time in the International Women's Congress in 1878 in Paris. I mean, just imagine the difficulty with the coordination at that time. Today, the reason a movement of this magnitude is feasible is because of technology and because the level of the collective consciousness has now reached world centricity. For those of you who are students of spiral dynamics, you'll understand what I'm saying even more. The human race keeps following the evolutionary impulse, not totally in a linear fashion. There's some good years and good decades and some bad. And frankly, right now, the spiral is collapsing, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about later. But the point I'm trying to make right now is that we're following the evolutionary impulse. And with that comes finally a collective consciousness on planet Earth that could support a movement of this caliber. And what I mean by caliber is values. There are so many humans now on the planet who share the beautiful value set that everyone here tonight expresses, both with their words and with their energy and with their souls. So we've come to a point in human history where technology is available to us to do a global movement. We've come to the point where the consciousness is there to do a global movement. And that's why the founding mothers believe what we are building is not only unprecedented, but it's actually going to work. So here is the plan. We have a lot of scholars involved. And while I wasn't a academic level activist prior to the founding mothers movement download coming in, I have just been studying and studying. And what I can tell you is that after 100 years of research, the experts can definitively say nonviolence is more effective than violence. Not only is it more effective, it's more efficient. So the average war that's, quote, successful takes 8 or 9 years. The average nonviolent social movement that's successful takes 2 to 3. So what we've done with the Founding Mothers movement is use a 2-year horizon. This has truly been strategically mapped, and I'm happy to say we are sticking to our timetable so far. We launched Founding Mothers Movement on July 5th. That's just a little over 2 months ago. We had our first Global Women's Congress on July 20th. And then we started in our pattern, which is the first Saturday of every month. So we met again on August 3rd, and we just met on September 7th. Another target that we set for ourselves that we achieved was crafting. We were calling it the Founding Mothers Manifesto until I went, man's writing that word. Plus there tends to be a semi-fascist connotation of that. I think that's what Mussolini, the word Mussolini like. Anyway, we realized at the last second, no, we're going to call it the Founding Mothers Proclamation. And that too is in honor of the Mother's Day Proclamation. We feel like this is the next stage of that. And we did it. We passed it at the last Congress because our intent is to publish it to the world on October 2nd of this year. And that is the International Day of Nonviolence, which honors Gandhi. That is his birthday, October 2nd. We are publishing it. We are going to write every head of state. We are going to watch its progress around the world. In the video, you saw the green circle where we've basically, it's not continental because we've broken the world into 10 segments, but that map is going to allow us to not only monitor the progress of the Founding Mothers Proclamation, it's also going to allow us when we start our action events to watch how they're being implemented and received around the world. So the geographic circles are very important. Let me next talk about how to become involved with Founding Mothers, because I hope we've piqued your interest enough that you want to get involved. We have 3 ways that you can join. The first is as a world citizen. And if you're not a member of a group and you want to sign up as an individual, please do. We're calling that a world citizen, and you can volunteer. You can be in the Congress in one of the operational circles. And this is where men are invited to join us. And we already have a lot of men in the movement. Then if you're part of a partner group, you can register your partner group. And here we're following the suffragette playbook. When the women did it at the turn of the last century, environmental groups didn't exist yet. We hadn't really trashed Mother Nature quite to this extent. Had environmental groups existed, I'm sure they would have included them in their coalition. But back then it was women's groups, peace groups, and churches. There weren't a lot of spiritual groups around. So we've added this 4th partner category. And if your group has at least 25 members, sign up, please, because then you're eligible to send a delegate to Congress. We're also thinking about what we're going to do when the Congress grows to the point where we might have 1,000 women in the Congress. And even if we group them in circles, it's going to at some point become unwieldy. So we're already envisioning, well, what are we going to do? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to fractal the movement. Again, back to those green geographic circles. So when this peace room and this Congress gets too dense, what we're envisioning is that other peace rooms will form around the world. Before Barbara Marx Hubbard died, she was working on a project called the Office for the Future. And I worked with her on that project for 2 years. So this isn't springing without foundation. We put a lot of work into that project, 2 years worth. And part of what we are mapping for the Founding Mothers movement is being borrowed from that intensive work that was done by people from all over the world. So we will fractal the movement when the time is right. We might start with continental peace rooms and women's congresses that are in continental regions, but then eventually, yes, we're envisioning that we might use the green geographic divisions that we've come up with, or every country could end up with its own peace room. And boy, wouldn't that be ideal. At that point in the movement, the peace rooms will connect. We'll continue to determine the best way to coordinate with each other. And here's the big goal. We're going to use the rest of 2024 to scale the movement. We actually haven't yet attempted to scale. We wanted to make sure all our processes were in place, that the website could handle and just being inundated with volunteers and partner groups. And we're there now. So we're ready. Come on. If we get 100 people a day, we can handle it now. If we get 1,000 groups, I think we can handle it now. Then in January of 2025, we will commence direct action campaigns, and we will follow the playbook of the successful campaigns. So we're going to be looking to update in the 21st century manner. How did Gandhi do it? We're going to update in the 21st century manner. How did Martin Luther King do it? And we're going to be both smart and wise, as women are, how we implement the campaigns. We've already brainstormed some incredibly novel ideas. We're also looking at things like the Icelandic women's strike that was exceedingly successful. So please trust that not only are we being dutifully honoring campaigns from the past, movements from the past that have worked, we're also being exceedingly co-creative and having fun, frankly, brainstorming what we're going to do in 2025. Now, there's this other project, 2025, that I want to mention. Yeah. When I got the Founding Mothers download, and let me reiterate that really the main thing we're bringing to the table is the brand. Nobody owns Founding Mothers. There's no nonprofit entity that's called Founding Mothers. It is a coalition. And as a former attorney, I think we're doing this very wisely. It's a hydra with many heads, right? Thousands and thousands and thousands of partner groups. But when this came in, I also had just learned about Project 2025. Most people didn't know about it then. Now I think almost everyone knows. And Kamala Harris mentioned it last night during the debate to ensure everyone knows about Project 2025. That is a 920-page strategic plan that has been brainstormed and reduced to a written plan by over 100 alt-right think tanks. And by the way, it didn't originate in the United States. They wanted to see how Viktor Orban did it. How did he turn Hungary, a wonderfully democratic society, into a dictatorship in less than a decade? So they went to Hungary and they studied how he did it. And I just want to emphasize, this is not just an attack on the United States that we're witnessing. This is an attack on democracy globally. Democracy has been on the decline now for over 2 decades. The United States is no longer considered a healthy democracy. What we're dealing with is, in my opinion, the darkness before the light. This is a last stand by those who are the beneficiaries of patriarchy and privilege to maintain their power. They can't. But they're going to put up a real good fight, and we need to be realistic about what we're facing. We literally are facing billionaires, moneyed interests, corporations, AI companies that are unregulated, that benefit from the status quo, and they're not going to let it go easily. So when we contemplate a social movement of this magnitude, let us be mindful of the challenges, and let us also realize that the evolutionary impulse is with us and that we can do this. There's not a doubt in my mind. We can do this. And everyone watching needs to help. Help in any way you can. If you can donate, that would be wonderful, because at some point we're going to need to hire some help. We've got so many volunteers, but we probably will need some paid staff. If your skill set could contribute in a way that's needed, please come forward. Please come forward. I mean, doing a global media campaign for a social movement, that's never been done. What has been done in the past is that groups like 350.org, they have planned global one-day events. And I think 350.org still holds the record for that category of campaign. We've also seen things like Occupy that were not strategically planned go viral. We've also seen movements like Arab Spring, which was completely spontaneous, go global in the sense that the world was watching. We were all hoping, those of us who are progressives and believe in democracy. But what happens when a movement isn't planned, it actually is worse than if it had never even attempted to create change. Because what happens is a power vacuum develops. And that's when the bad guys double down, come back, and the day after can look worse, which is exactly what happened after Arab Spring. There was a military coup in Egypt. So we need to be very both strategic and inspired. I think the Founding Mothers movement brings that level of wisdom. We do believe we're being divinely guided. We do believe the time is now. We do believe it's the darkness before the light, and the light is coming. And our motto for the Founding Mothers movement is truth, love, and light. Please join us. Please reach out. The women involved already are just miraculously gifted and guided. And we know there are more of you out there. So please get in touch with us, and please join the Founding Mothers movement. Let's shift the paradigm, shall we?
This is so powerful. You know, thank you, Laura, and your amazing team for what you've put together. The vision, the videos, it's extraordinary. And I'm really, really honored that Global Peace Tribe is playing a little role in launching this.
Big role.
Big role. And
Big
of course,
role. It's only month 2.
a big part of Global Peace Tribe is Omashar. He is the musical muse who just makes everything happen. And so I believe Omashar has put together a very special song for tonight. And I'm going to turn it over to our beloved brother, Omashar.
Yes, such an honor to be amongst such esteemed, I was going to say esteemed women, but it's, you know, it's the feminine within us all, which is just yearning to come into balance again. And this song I've played a couple of times. It's a group song on the Awakening World before, but when I used to do Sweat Lodge regularly, and whenever we were calling to the mother in appreciation and respect and honor, we'd sing this song in Sweat Lodge. And so that's what I'm going to sing now. But it's got a little bit of a backbeat, so you can groove to it. And so there we are. There we go here.
what can we do now for the healing of our people? Mother, what more can we do now for the healing of the earth? Because I'm listening with my heart, I'm offering my hands. I'm listening with my heart, I'm offering my hands. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. And I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love, so grateful to be here, so grateful for your love. And we're listening with our hearts, and we're offering our hands. We're listening with our hearts, and we're offering our hands. Pat your mother, I offer my love to you for the healing of the people. Pat your mother, I offer my love to you for the healing of our earth. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. We're healing the people, we're healing the earth. And I'm listening with my heart, and I'm offering my hands. I'm listening with my heart, and I'm offering my hands. Mother, I offer my love to you.
All right, a gallery view, and let's all give a big twinkle to beloved Omashar, who is such a great gift to our world, to our awakening world. Thank you so much, Brother Omashar. And I'm going to turn it back over to Laura to carry on.
That was great. The show has just been totally inspiring, and wait till you see who you're going to hear from next. This young woman is absolutely amazing. Her name is Nateo Weaselhead, and I've only known her a few months, and I can tell you she is one of the strongest women I've ever met in my life. She is a descendant of the Blackfeet and Salish tribes from northwestern Montana. She is a mother, a sacred activist, and an artist. As a survivor of sex trafficking and a returned relative from the stolen generation of Indigenous children, Nateo focuses on the divine healing path by following her sacred visions, dreams, and the guidance of her closest ancestors. Her current work focuses on healing her community from corruption and violence. Nateo is a founding member of Divine Mother's Love. She's a delegate to Sacred Earth Council, and she's also a delegate to the Founding Mothers Movement.
Thank you so much, Laura. Oki Nixaquax. Hello, my relatives. My name is Nateo Weaselhead. I live in Missoula, Montana. I am a descendant of the Blackfeet and Salish tribes here in northwestern Montana. It's so great to be here with you all today. I'd like to thank both Scott and Laura for including my voice in this event. I'll be sharing a bit about myself and my healing journey. I will also be discussing some difficult topics of sexual abuse. So I want to just start out with a trigger warning and just let you all know that this is a safe place, and to please be gentle with yourself and with others.
Nateo, your video is off for some reason. I don't know if you, there you are, back.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. I was adopted as an infant and separated from my family, my indigenous culture, and my spiritual traditions. At 8 years old, I was sexually abused, and by 17, I was forced into marriage with an abusive husband. I barely survived, and I was left with traumatic brain injury, shattered teeth, and cervical disc disease that has left me disabled. After my divorce, I was struggling with my self-worth, and unfortunately, this was just the beginning. For over 10 years, I was sex trafficked by businessmen, prominent attorneys, rich foreigners, and kept under control by powerful predators. I was not held in captivity, although many of these men had every intention of doing so. Instead, I was controlled through manipulative tactics, using fear and oftentimes abuse, which resulted in severe dissociation, completely separating me from my higher consciousness. It took me a really long time to break through this manipulation of the mind. I began to reconnect with indigenous teachings, to listen to the guidance of ancestors within my dreams, and I started my healing path. By the time I finally made it back to my Blackfeet community and ceremonies, I was feeling really blessed, and I thought it was all behind me. However, when I began a relationship with the vice chairman of the Blackfeet Tribal Council, he wanted to push me backwards into the world of sex trafficking all over again. He sexually assaulted me 20 times, mentally and spiritually abused me, and used threats, intimidation, and manipulation to break me down under his control. I felt so defeated that I began to accept this life. But I still couldn't understand how I ended up with a spiritual leader who wanted to destroy the beautiful life and goodness that I had fought so hard for. He used all of my weaknesses to his advantage, but what he didn't recognize was my resilience and spiritual strength. In the end, I managed to safely get away, and for the first time, I decided to stand up against a predator in power and fight for justice. Thankfully, I'd already built up my life with some pretty incredible elders and a support system who stepped in to help me heal in some powerful ways with traditional medicines and ceremonies that reconnected me with both my spirit and my body. I fought hard for prosecutors to press charges, but after a 2-year investigation, they let this man walk free. And the tribal council protected him from losing his position on council. The Blackfeet community members were too afraid to take action, but raising my voice and telling my story became a historical catalyst for change. Women began rising up to run for council. People began speaking out about the corruption taking place in both political and spiritual leadership. And just recently, there was a returning of one of our oldest, most powerful sacred societies, who reassembled in order to restore the balance of traditional justice and community safety. I have been tasked with writing an official proposal to bring before the newly elected Blackfeet Tribal Council. And in this proposal, I will ask to invoke traditional court and a spiritual justice system for our Blackfeet people. At the same time, I have been meeting with some badass women from around the world who are all doing similar work to heal themselves, their families, and to help their community in good ways. We are the change that we've been looking for. When my case was over and I was ready to give up, Laura George was introduced to me, and Founding Mothers movement became a part of my life. It was everything that I had been praying for and working towards in my own personal projects. I am so honored to be a part of this movement, to work with these incredible, powerful women, and to learn their stories. Because when we tell our stories, we bring to light what was done in darkness. It transmutes those lower vibrational energies into higher oscillating frequencies that allows us to heal and reconnects us to our higher consciousness and with Creator. Telling our stories brings us together. It shows us how much we have in common is so much greater than our differences. It awakens us to our strength and our power within. We are here to assist in the great awakening of our time, and it is my dedicated passion to end violence against women, end the epidemic of the missing and murdered Indigenous relatives, to empower women as leaders and provide new pathways forward towards justice, healing, unity, and peace on this beautiful earth we call Mother. I am so grateful for being here and to be able to share my story with all of you and why the Founding Mothers movement is so important to me. Thank you all so much for listening. Anya.
Mateo, every time I hear your story, and I've seen the long version too, I am just so in awe of, you use the word resilience. So yeah, you've been resilient, but it's your spirit. And this update, I didn't know about this until you spoke tonight, this update that you're now being asked to prepare the case. You're being asked to use the tribal traditions and bringing it forth. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's just so representative of what the Founding Mothers is seeking. We're seeking justice, right? We're seeking inclusion. We're seeking the values that so many people now share, and yet we're dominated politically by these institutions that just don't want to budge yet. And part of the research we've done in Founding Mothers has to do with social movements when they hit that sweet spot, that tipping point. We're learning so much in preparation for 2025. We're also big Ken Wilber fans, back to spiral dynamics, integral theory. And the research shows that when you develop all of this power, and they call it the third quadrant, that's the we quadrant, that's the collective. When you get to a certain level of shared beliefs, shared action, and shared intention, it just starts to roll. And that's when we can impact what they call the fourth quadrant, the institutions themselves. And they're the last thing to change because of the interest, because of those who, again, are wedded to patriarchy and privilege. The level of organization that's going to be needed for this global movement is it is going to be unprecedented. So we're looking for women like Nateo, who are so brave, so ready, have heard the call to action, and are ready, willing, and able. We're looking for women who bring, the wisdom of age is really important, right? The Maiden Mother Crone trilogy, triumvirate, is really at the heart of the Founding Mothers movement. And right now we are seeking a lot more young women. I'm gonna send that out to the universe, to the listeners. They're gonna bring the energy needed to really fulfill this mission. And it is a mission. It's a sacred mission. So if the listeners, most of them have gray hair like me, get your daughter involved, get your son involved, get your niece and nephew involved, because that's where we're really going to hit pay dirt in terms of the force needed on the streets when the time is right. And trust that we're going to craft these campaigns with safety in mind, with great care. We're also very much aware of both Gandhi and Martin Luther King's devotion to what they call community care. Gandhi always had an ashram. He always had a place, not just for himself, so that he could think and realign and, you know, meditate and get the download on the next big event. I mean, the Salt March was divine genius. And similarly, Martin Luther King used the churches. So those were what we're now calling hubs for our movement. So in addition to needing the skills and the heart and the passion of many, many people, we want to have as many physical hubs as we can. So that, yes, we're going to have, I mean, a lot of this movement is going to be orchestrated through virtual connection, but we've already got 3 hubs. So the first one is Oracle Campus, which is in Independence, Virginia, on the New River, which, by the way, is the oldest river in the world. Or at least some geologists think it's the oldest river in the world. Sometimes it comes up second or third. So we have a very sacred site here in the Virginia Highlands, the Appalachian Mountains. Then we just had one of our delegates offer her campus in California. So we've got one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast of the United States. Then another one of our delegates, some of you may know her, Nina Meyerhoff, she has, through her nonprofit, acquired property directly across the street from Auschwitz in Poland. And they're in the process of creating a museum to that tragedy, which will focus not so much as many Holocaust museums focus on the tragedy itself, what we've learned from it, and how to, in an inspiring manner, bring humanity forward. So we've got 3 campuses at the moment around the world. We're looking for more. So be creative with us. Think of how we can build this movement, because again, this has never been done before. Never, ever, ever been done before. And we're going to need everybody's genius. We're going to need everybody's downloads. You know, these operational circles are meeting every week. Media meets on Monday. We got some alliteration here. Media circle meets on Monday. Tech circle meets on Tuesday. Partner circle meets on Wednesday. Campaign circle meets Thursday. And then Friday is when the manifesto circle meets. So please contact us, sign up, dig in. You become part of the database so that we can reach back out. I also want to say that the database is transparent. We want all our partners to see each other. So this is what Barbara wanted when we were working on the Office for the Future project. So when you sign up as a partner of the Founding Mothers Movement, you can get in the back door of the website and see your colleagues and reach out. Because again, once we get to the campaign stage and we've got boots on the ground and we need to regionally watch how the movement progresses, it's going to be more important than ever that you know who your partners are and that, you know, the decentralized part of our model is functioning well. We want decentralized agility, but again, with a vertical structure in place, because that's why movements of the 21st century have failed. The media, for instance, doesn't know who to talk to. When Occupy was going on, at one point, Michael Moore showed up and said, "Hey guys, you want me to talk for you?" No, Michael Moore, go away. They didn't have what in the lexicon of movement builders are demands. A lot of people got a difficulty with that word. But again, in the lexicon of activism, you issue demands, and you do that to be fair to your opponent. You want to be crystal clear on that which you are seeking. Gandhi and Martin Luther King always issued their demands in advance so that they would, we don't play dirty, right? Team Light plays fair. Even though we may not get the same courtesy, we're going to play fair, but we're also going to play firm, and we're going to play this wisely. So I'm going to stop because we've got 2 more speakers, but I wanted to I noticed we're doing fine on time. So I wanted to just explain a little bit more about how we're strategizing this movement and the breadth with which you're important to the movement, everyone watching. So next, I want to, I love this woman. She too is new to me. I've only known Diane for what? Less than 9 months. I know she was one of the first women to come on board. We reached out to her because she is very active in the oldest extant women's peace group on the planet. It's called the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. They actually were the ones who continued the old International Congress of Women. They rebranded under WILF. And I went to the WILF conference this year, and or the Congress, but it's turned more into a conference, whereas ours is a real Congress. So WILF meets annually. We're doing it monthly. And back to Diane, this woman has one of the biggest hearts of any woman I've ever met. So to give you just a small idea, she has raised her own 4 children and over 100 foster children. She is a full-time volunteer. And she lives outside of Washington, D.C., and I used to too. You can't live outside of Washington, D.C. and not be a news junkie and into politics. So her politics became personal for her. And she's been watching both national and international politics. And that's why she's an asset in the Peace Room. She's also very active in other peace organizations like World Beyond War. And so she brings, as a seasoned activist, this another, ingredient into the Peace Room that it wouldn't be whole without her. So I am thrilled to introduce Diane, and she is another member of the Peace Room. Take it away, Diane.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Yes, Founding Mothers is so inspirational to me. And I just, I quickly thought I'd review a couple things of my life, how the different stages. So while I was active in the PTA and AAUW, American Association of University Women, when I had my 4 children and foster children, I was a church organist for many years. And then after so many years in the League of Women Voters, I decided to run for office, and I ran for the state General Assembly and for Congress. And then I got involved in the peace movement. At a World Beyond War conference in 2016, I learned about WILF, the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, and quickly joined that. And I've been very involved. WILF has many facets. We cover different areas, but the main thing, of course, is peace. It was founded by Jane Addams in 1915 in her efforts to stop World War I. And so that we have continued that. I am so honored. I am the convener of the Jane Addams branch in WILF. And that means that I send out the information and I hold monthly meetings. And so Jane Addams is a model for me. She had such a big heart, and she was the first woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize. So anyway, I continue to work for WILF, but I'm so happy to be working in this Founding Mothers organization, Founding Mothers movement, and I want you to know about the campaigns that we're going to be working on if it starts in, if our demands or requests aren't met, they'll be starting in 2025, January 2025. But meanwhile, I have to compliment Laura. She's leading us in a book discussion, and we're reviewing the Dandelion Insurrection Study Guide. So every month, every week as the campaigns meet, we will be discussing different chapters of that and going through that in preparation to know about the optimal campaigns for this movement. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And I know it's shorter than I have, but if I can answer questions or whatever, but I'm just happy to have this movement that I hope will bring peace to the world and love for everyone, and just a caring, vibrant world for all. So
What a wonderful woman for us to conclude that part of the show with. And I have something very special. Mr. Omashar has just performed at the Japan event, and we are going to put him back on. Take it away, Omashar.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So Dana is actually doing another song. I'm just going to see if you can see it. You can whisper to me.
Okay. Right now we see your chin and your beard. Now we see that beautiful view, which still looks like a still painting. While he's pulling it up, curious how people's experience of the replaying the Mother's Movement video has been. And I saw Eleanor Joy really appreciated that. So thank you. And any other comments would be great. You know, and I know that some of you heard it before, but it is really very, very powerful work they're doing. Okay, let's go back to Omashar. We're seeing you. You know, Omashar, all we see in the background is that same background that we've seen the entire time. It's as though
interesting.
somehow it got snapped, almost like a photograph that has stayed on your background.
Just give me a moment. I don't want to interrupt the performance. I'm already interrupting it.
Well, and that's okay.
I'm going to come under a tree here.
All right.
And try and sort that out. Just to respect Dana. So, video. I wonder if well, maybe I do have my background on.
I think so, because it's been the same background the whole time and it doesn't move. So,
that sucks.
Well, that's okay. It's a beautiful background.
Oh, I know what it was. Just chat for a minute.
Absolutely. And a reminder that for those of you that's possible, come to San Francisco on Saturday from noon till 4 p.m. It's going to be an amazing event with 1,000 people there, dancers, singers, musicians, Piper Dellums, and Giodi Ma. And Oshala D will be joining me as co-hosts for the online version, which we'll be presenting to you that evening. And also we'll be presenting through the 24-hour program of Global Media and Hubcast. So, of course, if you're at home, tune in. Make sure you go to
Here we are.
Unite for Peace /live. I'll put that link into the chat box right now. Sign up so you can get the links to the global broadcast, and then I'll be showing highlights on Saturday night on the Awakening World. And I'm not going to put the spotlight on Omashar.
You can actually now. Yeah,
oh, wow.
The gathering.
Yeah,
you know
that's very different than what we saw before.
I did not realize, because I never used my phone for Zoom. And what happened was that was actually a picture of Peru you were seeing before. That was my background. So here's the concert with several hundred people here. And
Wow.
Dana Tomasino is on the stage doing her sound work down there. You might be able to see through the back there. It's probably not.
Yeah, we can
but
see
I don't want to go down and
yeah, no, that's okay.
provide.
Just leaving it like this is good. And now I know, because that shot was so static. So, but this is perfect. It's beautiful to see what's happening in Japan and to tune in and to feel you.
Well, you see all of the flags of the world. As I mentioned before, there's 194 flags all around here representing every country in the world, plus a few autonomous nations. And Mount Fuji was there, but the clouds have come and covered it. So, oh well.
covered her. But anyway, just sending you a bit of a vibe here from here. It's been phenomenal.
It's been great. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to close this show with the song that you did for us last week. So it's perfect timing that you're here with us.
I
Because
know.
you are
I felt the call as I always did.
you are the Alpha and Omega, man.
Dude, it's funny because I'm actually quite present and I feel like I'm with you and with these wonderful people here.
Well, we are more and more dropping into the quantum reality of our multidimensional selves. Yeah.
There it is. Okay, namaste, everybody. Love you. Oh, this is the clappers for Dana Tomasino. And Jazz, of course, who I hope is feeling a bit better.
Yeah, you can see she's the Frankenstein puppy with her little scar where they took off her
suit. Wow.
Yeah, but she's
now we have some people from Israel coming up and doing an oud and some djembe drumming. That'll be great. That'll be wild.
Mm.
And that's the backstage they're working on. Okay, I know you have to go, so ciao.
No, well, stick around. We're going to play your song from last week now.
Okay, lovely.
Love you.
Bye.
And so, beloved brother who leaves for Japan tomorrow.
That's right. It's funny. Whilst I was listening to the closing comments, I just got a text saying that it's over 90 degrees there, so don't bring winter clothes. However, back to this moment, and I'm deeply honored to be a part of the birth of this movement, because it is about time. We know that. We felt it for eons, but especially decades. And so this sort of closing song, it's an opening song. It's called Mother's Song. It's not mine. And it's by a woman who's devoted her life to the presence of the mother and bringing the presence of the mother into actuality. And her name is Kathy Zavada. And she's actually a unity minister up in Ashland. Anyway, this is her song. It's called Mother's Song, and it speaks for itself. Actually, I'll sing it, so it speaks for itself through my song. Me, me, me. I'm going to change the mic source. That one, this one. Okay, here we go.
Oh, my love, don't cry. I'm with you here inside, and I love you. I'm with you all the way. Oh, my love, close your eyes, rest a while, realize you're so very loved all the time, all the time. I hold you here in my heart, it's vast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart, dream your eyes are open. Open your eyes. Precious one, everyone, you're not alone, not forgotten, you are coming home, so listen to yourself. You're the one I'm waiting for. I'll patiently wait at your door, and when you are ready, open and be free. I hold you here in my heart, it's vast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart, dream your eyes are open, open your me with your fears and give them up. Surrender into love. Remember who you are. You're vaster than a million stars. You are everything you could ever hope to be. I hold you here in my heart, as fast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart. Dream your eyes are open. Open your eyes. I hold you here in my heart, as fast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart. Dream your eyes are open. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your
Go to gallery view one last time for tonight. Of course, that is from last week. And there's Omashar marching through the grass. Hey, everybody, I have put into the chat box the link to register for our new season that's about to start. It's actually technically started, but the Zoom room links will change October 1st, which is coming right up. I've also put in the link to where you can go to register for, well, first of all, here's just our little poster for the upcoming Awakening World. Let me. There we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. And definitely join us online Saturday. It's going to be really, really quite special. And again, the way you go to Saturday is go to uniteforpeace.live. Uniteforpeace.live. And hopefully you're all hearing me correctly. The links are in the chat box. And thank you very much. Here's Jasmine Bear. Send her your love. She's healing after her surgery. Yeah. Do I still get a kiss? Okay. Got to get a kiss. She's being a good girl, even though she's got a big boo-boo. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. It's kind of a unique and different show. And of course, much love to Omashar and all of our friends coming to us from Japan. It's really, really fun to connect with them in that way. And good night, Eleanor and Ian, Roger and Bonnie, Omashar, Karen, George, Sylvia, Lynn and Leaf, and all the others who don't have their cameras on. Much love to you. See you on Saturday. Hope to see some of you in San Francisco. Otherwise, I'll see you all online.